Welcome to the Chef of X podcast.
No, I think it's perfect. I like actually the quality of this.
Yeah. I actually want to move it closer to you. It's nice.
Yeah. What a way to hear the space.
I like the birds.
Fucking in relation to that, there was that same night that I was at Dom. After fucking, we ended up staying up till 7 a.m. because we were
Same night you were watching listening to Stormy.
Yeah. Because it was already 4 a.m. and the studio opens at 7 a.m. And I was like, what's the point of us going back home, sleeping for 2 hours? Well, I guess we could have slept more, but we were still awake. We still had energy and fucking, yeah, we were just walking. And at one point, we were right next to this church, and I wanted to get footage.
Yeah.
Audio footage, actually, of the space, because we heard this bird just by itself just singing, man. And I asked him to stay silent. I just started recording. This bird was going crazy, man. He was going like, it was like a rapper. Like, he had verses, and they were repeating. It had a rhythm to it. There was one point where you could hear someone like rolling a cart, and whenever the cart would hit the cracks, that's when you would hear the cart.
Yeah.
And it had a beat to it that the bird was somehow in sync with, man. And I have it recorded, and we were just like bugging out, man, because we were still off that energy of recording.
Yeah.
And just like music. But yeah.
Do you like it more when people show up with their written thing, or when they write in front of you?
You know what? I would say when they write in the moment, man. I think there's something precious about that.
I figured you would say, because, well, my attitude toward it is like, I was in the moment whenever I wrote it, but that moment might not have been the moment where somebody was there.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture between both. I think there is something special about the moment, but I don't think the moment has to be at a certain moment.
Yeah.
It could just be whenever it comes. I mean, I'm the type of person who I like taking long bus rides and train rides, or even in cars, because I'll think of something while I'm looking out the window, and then immediately, since I write on my phone, I just can jot it out really quickly and then move on to the next thing. But like having several of those moments throughout the day is more likely to happen for me than to be sitting in front of a group of people and have those moments all happen at once.
Yeah.
Like I had a moment today where I wrote Rush today.
Oh shit.
And because I came here when I realized you weren't going to be here for another couple of hours.
When you didn't have to rush.
I still rushed because I want you to hear all the rough versions of everything. Because I'm gonna upload them soon. Because I go in this Friday.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I'm thinking, if I uploaded them tonight, would there be a chance they're on streaming services by Friday? Probably not. It's probably going to be like a week that I have to wait.
Is it something you really want for them to be out as soon as you go in?
I would like them to be as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it could happen, even if it happens like a week after, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but
What if you, let's say on my part, just for the mixing part, I can have, Friday, huh?
oh, yeah. But to me, that's with my mixes.
Okay, then.
So my mixes can be out, and then your mixes can be out whenever. It doesn't have to be a rush. We can upload them as remixes or however you want to do that. Or just not upload them.
Nah, they should be uploaded.
I could put them... okay. Yeah, that's going to be a little complicated then. Because basically for me to have any... for me to upload it onto my own DistroKid, it would have to be done by Friday. But I realized that might be really stretching out the time, or crunching the time.
Yeah, rushing it.
Well, I mean, rush isn't a rush. Unlike strep throat. You remember Kanye's Through the Wire? My brother was like, you should do it with a real strep throat, like Kanye did it with real.
Oh,
but I'm like,
shit.
but that's,
That was
I'm
like-
not gonna time out when I get strep throat, or like go get it voluntarily. It's supposed to be a metaphor.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, fucking, I remember having that question.
Did I really have a strep throat? You know what I did have? I had a fucking raspy ass throat because I was so I've been going back and forth to Santa Cruz. My girlfriend lives in Santa
For
Cruz,
sure, yeah.
and since I don't have a job or I'm not in school, I can pretty much go there whenever. So, which is one benefit of this whole situation. So anyhow, I go out there and there's like this bus stop station that I fucking love. Like she used to work at this bar and it's like across the street from the bar down the street. And I would go there and just around these buses and there's like a little like taco stand or whatever. I would look in the mirror, like if it was at night they had lights, I'd look in the mirror and rap in front of the thing. And I did strep throat. I did so many times, I practiced it so many times that my throat was raspy by the time I actually recorded it, but it wasn't strep throat. It was just that I had been yelling these rap lyrics for like a good hour or so, and it really fucked with my throat. Because I don't know,
That's funny.
I really don't know how to rap. Like as I think about it, I'm like, I like writing raps and I like performing them, but I don't really know like breathing methods and like I don't enunciate the right things at the right time. Like I'll enunciate some shit and just let other shit blend in. So it's not really like a polished craft for me. But when I did strep throat, I really felt that because there's a lot of lines that I could write that I barely could rap. That I was like, I'm running out of breath. I need to change this. Now with most songs, I'll just change it. Like I did that for Diet. I redid it. You haven't heard the new version yet, but it's basically like a lot of the lines. I had a line that said, and I feel I got the feeling that I'm blessed right now.
Yeah.
But I just changed it to, I got the feeling that I'm blessed right now. That way I have breathing room. So a lot of it changes the whole feel of it. And that's why I say mostly I'm doing it as a writer because I have limitations as like an MC that I didn't really realize I had. Because it's like practice makes perfect. So I think when I was in Europe, I was well like conditioned for it. By the time I was doing certain verses, like I was ready to do them. But like strep throat, just like out of the blue, having rapped for over a year, it was really hard for me to rap that.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was surprising. I knew, like, I was curious. I definitely already expected something good to come out of it, man. I was excited for it. But when I heard it, man, I was like, yo, this fool still got it, man. Like, the flow, you know? Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, because I mean, it sounded good, and yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything less, but it was something I noticed. I was like, fuck, man, like, you know, that's some chef shit right there. It never leaves. And it's interesting to see. Yeah.
I'm glad to have you as a fan.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because it's kind of like,
yeah.
I'm seeing the worst in everything that is created. So unless I have somebody that can see it with fresh eyes, I really don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
So my hunch though is that every time I redo something, it's worse than the first time. I remember Gold Corona. I love that verse. And that was just pretty much the first try. Or it was like the third try.
Yeah.
But the first try was better than the third try.
Yeah.
I remember I had
That's interesting.
I'm a rude boy like Rufio. I just fucked what's the name in the booty hole. But then I changed it because it's like I'm in front of all these people. I don't want to, you know.
That's hell.
But Dami remembered it.
Yeah.
So he would yell it out while I was... Anyhow.
No, but yeah, thinking about that, man, I remember when you did when you changed the delivery of day in and your verse on day in and day out. It was a more like
I was super
loud.
angry. Yeah, well,
like
that
angry.
day I was super upset. Did I ever tell you why I did that?
You might have told me at the time, but I forgot. Yeah.
I got in a bad thing with Scarlett.
Oh,
she put me in a really bad mood because I was hanging out with everyone and Evelyn was at the table.
Yeah.
And it was like a big deal that apparently I cut off Evelyn. And Scarlett was like, you're being disrespectful to women. You have no, you know what I mean? And I was like, dude, I didn't even know what I did. Then I asked Evelyn, I was like, I'm sorry if I disrespected you, but do you even agree with what Scarlett said? She was like, no. I had no problem with it.
Yeah,
I was just letting her finish her spiel. Because you know how it is. One person's angry at me. And the other person, if they're quiet, it looks like they agree.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. She didn't agree. She was just letting Scarlett finish her thing. So anyhow, I left.
that.
I left there, went to the park, and I just fucking started screaming my verse. And then I came back, and I was like, I'm gonna do that version that I did in the park.
That's funny because I hated that version.
Yeah,
man.
you hated that version. Some people love it though.
Yeah.
It really just depends on taste.
Yeah. Okay, I wouldn't say I hate it, but I definitely did not like it compared to the other one, man.
Compared to, well, the other one, there was so much smoother.
Yeah, smooth, and it was. But you know what? It connected that the second delivery connected to the content of the verse, which I mean, you know. But I think it was just I think it was being juxtaposed to the other verses. It was almost like this.
It was extreme. It was a very extreme verse. I mean,
and I mean, shit. I think it's interesting, man.
Why did you send me Sacrifices first?
Yo, man, because fucking it was the latest one.
It was the latest.
The latest one, and like it was the hot new one, and yeah, I don't know why. Other than I mean, I could get really deep.
What is it like for you to make? What's different in the latest one versus the older ones from the perspective of making them?
Yeah.
Why do you want? I assume you want people to use the latest one because that's what you're excited about, and you don't want to go back and mix the other ones that you already. Yeah.
You know what?
Is that true though?
No. Because there's still like a bunch that I'm like when you picked up Persian Rug was one that got lost in the vaults until I heard Stormy, man. And that's what really was like. There's this other beat on there that I really want to, dig up again, man. Fucking, but I can't find it because of the names, the titles. But fucking, no, there's a bunch that I'm still waiting for people to use, man. So
can I name a few that I like?
Yeah, please, man.
Becoming is one I always like.
I gotta hear it.
Yeah, we gotta hear it. It's too
it's all
late
good.
now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
I'll just play it out loud.
Oh hell yeah!
I'll play it holding it up to there. Becoming.
Do you know where the art building is at here?
I have no idea.
The rapper from New York used that.
Really?
Yeah, for yep, I can
I
recite
think it's
them.
a great beat.
Yeah, and he did. That was a perfect synchronous moment, man. Like that one. That one's the one I used for my project for the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
And in the conversations, what was cool with. I mean, that's one thing I took from you from the Europe, man. You were like the documenter. Like yeah, like because Sue was the video, and like I know Dom would do the same, but you documenting just the moments.
Yeah.
Just setting this up and just having it record.
Yeah.
Stormy's a great example of it, and like those. But like yeah, I when he was recording right there, he was doing his thing. I had my tape. I bought this tape player that could record onto tape, and then I had my camera recording like video, but also the audio, and then of course there was the mic recording too. So what I did, so what that helped me capture was the process, because in one of those we were recording another song with him, that do it in the subways, and fucking I was while we were doing that, we were having this conversation, because my bad, I'm going in circles, but our ritual was he was going through Ramadan at the time.
Oh wow!
And fucking so he could only eat till after, I think it was, I forgot the time, but it was late. Yeah. And me, I was on natural fucking Ramadan, man. I wasn't eating all day till like I got home at night. So I was like, it worked out. So every time we would head to the subways, like around we'd meet up like at 11 p.m. or 12. And we'd we'd take the train up to like Washington Heights, go to a Chinese spot and grab some cheap grub, and then go back up to like, we'd have to take the subway back down and go up to like this space that was like in Upper Harlem. And fucking, we did set up at the end of this subway, rats fucking grimy as shit, sit on crates and just eat our food, man, and just chop it up. We'd be rolling his blunts and fucking, but anyways, in one of those, we were just listening to the old song, or the first song we were recording, and we were having a conversation, and he brought up the idea to this other song that he hadn't recorded yet, but he had written, but he was still trying to find a beat for. So like, while something was happening, man, like where the acapellas from the old song were playing, and I was playing this new beat on a different, like, the old acapellas were playing on Ableton, and I was playing this new beat on, like, the music player here on the computer.
Yeah.
And, like, we were talking about that one song, and he was like, yo, yeah, this might fit on it. And then somehow the acapellas looped, and his ad-libs, or his, like, whenever he starts a song, he goes, chorus, hooks. They landed on beat with to the other beat that was playing separately.
Yeah.
And we were like, that's confirmation, man. It fucking looped perfect. And then right after that, we just started recording the Shackle My Mind on Becoming, man. And like, it was just and it was captured through the document. It was documented on one of the fucking devices. And I put it into the piece because I was like, yo, this is what happens with, that's what I liked about the Europe thing. It was just improvisation, and just things would happen in the moment, you know? And then like, sometimes, you know, things would, oh, that one, let's write to it. Okay, put it on repeat, and then fucking, you know,
Yeah, that's what I loved about Europe too, was that there were so many people in the room, but somehow it got figured out what we were going to, like, what kind of song we were going to make, and then what kind of vibe we're going to have for that day. And there was pretty much like a song a day, but or like, you know, it would lag over when people are redoing verses and stuff, but the fresh song for that day was like, somebody would choose it. I think it would be like Raul or Yoke. And then everyone just said, okay, this is what we're going to do for the next few hours. Came together, got it done. Okay, now we're on to the mixing stage. Yeah, which is still ongoing. It's ongoing. Here's the thing. Nobody truly knows how to mix and master in that group. Not one person knows how to do that. I know. I think I'm going to use an online mastering tool because I used it for Young Davy, but then when I uploaded it to the streaming services, I forgot that I had done that because I titled it like 6 dB Young Davy, and the reason was because you had to have 6 dB headroom. So I put those into this website. It's called Cloud Bounce, I think. Okay. I put it into this website, and it did whatever, and then spat out, okay, here's Trader Joe's Cloud Bounce, whatever, 6 dB. And then I had a whole folder full of those internet master tracks, but I forgot about them, so I uploaded the ones before the master, and then I played the mastered track next to the unmastered, and my girlfriend was like, that one's way higher quality, and it was the mastered one. Oh, shit. So I was like, okay, there is a difference, and also we were in a car, so there's a difference that you can hear if you have loud enough speakers where it does make a difference. So I'm just gonna do that same thing again. Except this time not forget which one to upload. And I think that's going to be a part of my process because it's like $20 a month. You could buy it 1 month at a time. $200 a year. So you save like $40 if you get it for the year. Yeah, man. And then $9.99 per track. So I do the monthly and then do all the tracks. And oh, that's chill, man. I think, there is. Since I don't know anyone who mixes and masters. You know what, though? To me, it's I kind of see it as a small deal. I do it as a courtesy to the listeners, but I don't really see it as that big of a deal myself. So that's why I think I'm going to opt into just doing it digitally and going with whatever results I get that way. It's probably not going to be the same as if somebody was really in a studio twiddling knobs who's done this for years. But it'll be good enough for the listener to be like, okay, this person put in some effort to try to master this. So I don't know if I'm going to change, but as of now, that's my opinion on it. Plus, I'm in a rush. That's funny, man. I could get it done overnight, get all of them done. And I mean, I still don't know exactly what happens in the master. I was thinking of it on the way here. Because fucking... Well, one of the things is volume. I know that much. And like, you know, getting there's everything... equalization, but I think... So this is what I've heard. It's supposed to make all the songs sound like they're the same project. What that actually means, I have no idea, but I think levels, it's equalization. As far as that, like, I think with mastering, there's no, like, jump, you know, like, unless it's intended. But, like, because I was listening, so when I'm driving so I'm caught up in a fucking, I don't know if this is the right term, but catch 22 or whatever, because my brother's, he's letting me borrow his car, but the catch with that is fucking cops pull it over all the time. Ooh. So, like, he's like, you can't be drinking, you can't be smoking.
and fucking harassing him. And I'm like, okay, there's that. And then fucking I used to use my dad's truck.
Yeah.
And then fucking what happened while I was gone was my brother fucking crashed the front. And fucking, so the bumper's off, so it's just this empty fucking space in front of the truck where the license plate should be. The license plate is like, it's in the back, but I think sometimes cops really fucking care about the front one.
Yeah.
And fucking, so yeah, it's like, fuck, I can't, I'm a walking target.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a driving target, a moving target. Fucking, yeah, so like, on my way
that's
here,
the good news, you're
yeah.
a moving target.
Yeah. Fucking, and it's this old truck, this old work truck. And fucking, hell old, man. Fucking, so it's got those old speakers. And like I was listening to whenever I'm in there, I start mixing with the little two knobs, the treble and the bass.
The treble and the bass, yeah.
And so fucking on the way here, I was listening to how the quality sounds in there. And on this phone, it has a little, it's fucking very like basic and it's very limited, but you can change the bandwidth of like the audio that's playing from this. So I turned up the treble here, and then I was messing with the knobs there.
I'll save you the trouble.
Yeah, save you the trouble. But it was funny because I was listening to the Europe album that's uploaded, and there was hella things that were going on that I was like, oh, like that doesn't sound good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was like this, at the end of Day In and Day Out on Alan's verse, when he goes, when it starts echoing at the end of his verse, he goes, I forgot the word, but it fucking goes on forever in the truck, man. And it's just like, yeah.
And that was the project that was mastered, right?
No.
Oh, it wasn't.
It wasn't, yeah. But I mean, I'm sure that didn't change on the one
That's funny,
man. But still,
I thought you were gonna say after they mastered it, you still disagreed with parts of it. I was like, that's no good.
Yeah, but it was interesting, man, to hear about that. Like what you were saying, I think with that master. Another thing I heard was it's supposed to make the song sound as similar as they can on different devices.
Oh yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I don't know how in the hell they can do that.
Yeah, right, exactly. When you can think of like these truck speakers compared to like fucking
the Beats by Dre's speaker thing that people carry around.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking of bringing Khan's old speaker, but I went against it because I was like, when are we ever going to be playing loud music? We could, I guess, but we could use the headphones.
Yeah. What do you mix for? And I think that's where that thing went, you know? Because sometimes, let's say, because those things happen like in that truck, I was like, what if I mix for these types of speakers?
Right, yeah.
You know, it's going to sound like, I forgot who it was. They mix on shitty speakers in order to fucking get the best quality everywhere. But I don't know how. I don't think that interprets that well. If you're just, you're just mixing for this certain device, then certain other things are gonna pop out.
Right.
You know?
Oh, so I didn't hear the clap on strep throat. I didn't hear that until I listened to it in a car. Then I was like, oh, this is loud. This is really loud. Like my voice was really low and that. I was like, okay, this must be what Carol was talking about. Man. But it just depends on the speakers.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, what if I put your version of strep throat with the high kicks and snares into the cloud bounce?
Yeah.
Would it lower those sounds, or would it just?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, I have it, so I'll run the experiment part. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never really read into it, but like, it's funny. It's just a bunch of hypothesizing, I guess. But like on the way here, I was like, okay, let's say I was thinking about the mastering. What does it really do? And I was thinking, okay, you mix to a point where you got everything sounding the way you want it to sound. So it's cutting off certain frequencies, it's, doing these, busting up other ones. So I was like, okay, does the mastering thing just level everything up to like be, moving at the same level? Let's say before mastering, the frequency is like cut off. It's like, this thing like that.
Yeah.
Does mastering kind of flatten it out? And then at that point, it's bringing up everything. It's not bringing in those frequencies that are cut off already. It's just boosting up the volume. I don't know if that makes sense.
I don't know.
No, never mind. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The truth is, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Until we try it out. That's it. I used to that Rick Rubin shit.
Rick Rubin, yeah. Gotta try it out.
Yeah. It's trip, man. It's been. I wanted to bring these things that I've been playing around with lately, but I forgot it. They're called transducers or
Yeah.
exciters.
Okay.
You heard of them?
A little bit.
Yeah?
I feel like I should know what they are,
Yeah,
but I don't.
you'd love it, because basically it's this thing. I don't really know much about it, but fucking this little device. It's not a speaker, but it can turn anything that you put it against, where it can vibrate against on,
Yeah.
into a speaker.
Oh,
so
wow.
like you go here, it's gonna use this solid thing and drive sound through it.
Yeah.
Like and your backpack will give you a different quality than this will, than that will, than anything will.
Yeah.
It turns anything into speaker.
That's cool.
And it's fucking dope. And so like,
What do you normally use it on?
So like I just barely got him last week, man.
Yeah.
And I tried him out a little bit one day last week, and I tried him out 2 days ago. But my intent was to use them on little pieces of fence
Yeah.
for this installation I'm doing, and it's gonna vibrate sound into that fence. Kind of be interesting.
I saw your fences project. What was that
Yeah.
about?
So fucking
Because it seemed like videos through a circular lens of different fences in different places.
you mean in YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's gonna be projected onto one of the voids in my paintings, like one of the circles in my paintings. And what it's supposed to, I'm still trying to figure out what really it's supposed to do, but my intention is kind of like to have this fence as like a filter, this veil in front of like the viewer who's looking at the video, and what's on the other side of that space in the video. And what's on the other side of the space in the video is what I really want to get through that are schools, prisons and jails, and fucking just like public spaces.
Yeah. Hospitals, parks.
Yeah, parks, houses.
Maybe
and
not hospitals, actually.
Yeah, all right. I don't know about that, but maybe. I mean, because it could work. Because I mean, just thinking of like, because my idea with the fence, because it's slowly just revealing like itself to like, with different, just like anything in life, just reveals. You look at one thing and then it means one thing, then it means something else. With the fence, like I started thinking about boundaries, how it divides, but it also protects, and like the different meanings or symbols that can be extracted from that fence. And then
Yeah.
thinking lately, like in the history too, like with my friends, and even more to the present, thinking about like you, my brother, and like thinking about also this thing of how it's used to keep something incarcerated, caged,
Yeah.
and it's like what they do. Like they're just divisive, but also protective. But it depends. It changes. Like in a park, in a basketball court, at a school, they're protective in a way. They keep the outside and the inside. And you're in this space where the outside can't interfere. But it's still a cage too, because it keeps you inside this fucking.
Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah. Just thinking of that.
You have a lot of artsy projects on your YouTube. I remember one of them that I liked a little bit more than. And by the way, my perspective is not very artsy at all.
But yeah,
so
it's just as
so
fucking
what
equal.
I see
Yeah.
in it might not be what I'm supposed to see.
No,
it
it is.
But I liked the one where you were changing clothes,
Mm.
and you were in. It seemed like you were in a white room,
Yeah, it was
four-walled
like a
room,
yeah.
and there were clothes on the floor in 4 different corners of the room, and you would walk to each corner, take off your clothes, then put on the new clothes,
Yeah.
and then walk to a different corner. I didn't like how many times you did it. You did it like for 15 minutes straight. I thought just one time would be good enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe the fact that it's dragged out is supposed to give you a feeling of like it's exhausting you.
Yeah.
So same thing with the fences.
Yeah.
A lot of your projects seem to be drawn out over time. So it's like, oh, you're watching this fence for like 5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
And it's cool with the music. It
Yeah.
makes the time move, but also just looking at a fence for 5 minutes is very unusual.
Yeah.
So it gives kind of a creepy feel to the whole
Yeah.
thing.
And that's it. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, at least right now, because I'm conflicted. Because I definitely, and that's the one thing. Like my interests are in creating spaces that can, and just creating spaces or situations where you can just forget about the art piece and whatever's there, and just look inside and like just have a break and really have a time for it to be reflexive and like moments of introspection.
Yeah.
And then hopefully some of these signifiers or like these little like things that are going around you can maybe hopefully, if it's needed, like jumpstart that walk into inside and the self and really everything. And like so I've always been like, I've wanted to create like positive spaces, whatever that is. So when this fence started, there's those moments where I hesitate to try to create a space that's fucking a little creepy and a little like kind of like like uncomfortable. But it's funny because then like it's this relationship with the work that I think we all have with art, whatever work we create is like sometimes it's leading its own route and it's just dragging you with it. And even though like I hesitate to fucking go down that route and even thinking about incarceration and like all that, but like I'm like, fuck, that's what the work wants right now.
Yeah.
And like it's something that's very like what's going on with me too.
Yeah.
Because like before I definitely like when you just said I don't know if that's how I'm supposed to feel with this piece or that's the message of it. Like that's the one thing I'm always trying to get rid of my message. My message doesn't matter. And I want to get rid of it as much of like the artist's authority, and liberate it to like, fuck, if that's what you feel, that's just as fucking equal as what I feel or what the next person feels.
Yeah.
No one can control your perspective. I don't know. They can't.
Yeah, there is always the thing of like, if you did have intent, will the viewer ever know what that intent is?
Yeah.
But I guess if you try not to have it, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Like
The viewer will just have their view and they don't have to guess what you were trying to.
Exactly, and that's fucking just as perfect. There's this text that I called "Death of the Author," and like that whole thing was like about how the author, in like let's say in writing, in a novel, fucking we all read and fill up these spaces from our own experiences. So like in the author's experience and interpretation of it doesn't fucking matter at that point.
Yeah.
There's different readings of the same collection of words. Or the same collection of any experience.
Yeah. And it's kind of like if you're creating, then it's like a form of an autobiography. But also if you're viewing, it's a form of an autobiography too. There's also what you have your own leanings and feelings and you have your own history, and that kind of gets projected onto the thing anyway. Even if you're not trying to do it, you're going to say, oh, well, based on everything I knew in the past, this is how I'm going to interpret this.
Yeah.
So it works both ways. One person is telling a story about themselves through creating, and then somebody else is telling a story about themselves through interpreting the thing. Like, oh, well, this is who I am. This is who I am. Okay, well, those might be different things, but they might both be valid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that because then the autobiography is an interesting, because that's such a thing that's supposed to be personal about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, that's cool. I dig that, your interpretation of that, man.
There was a guy who was talking about comedy movies. It might have been like a Seth Rogen or something. And he was like, the more specific I make the movie, the more people are going to be able to relate to it. And I don't know why that is, but I think it's because people see themselves in it more. If it's like a specific thing, they're like, it hints at a theme. Maybe it's the best way to demonstrate themes is by just specific examples. I'm like, oh yeah, that reminds me of me or something I've been through.
Or who I want to be.
Or that's also true. That's what hip hop is for me.
There you go.
Be who you want to be.
That's fucking dope.
You could be a superstar.
Well, Rock, have you seen that new Cypress Hill documentary?
No, I have
No,
not.
it's dope, man. It's
Is
really
it on
good.
Netflix?
It's on Showtime, man.
Showtime. I
You
might
could-
not be able to see
Yeah,
it.
you could pirate that shit, man.
Okay, yeah,
I've
that's
been able-
true.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, you need to. That's how I saw this. Another one I recommend, man. That I saw is the Velvet Underground documentary. It came out like
I don't know
last
who Velvet
fall.
Underground is.
Shit, you don't have to know that. It's
To
just
enjoy
the
it.
value in it is just an artistic value and like
Yeah.
process. It's like the Europe type of feelings, man. Like
Yeah.
those spaces where just creatives have a space, and then just everyone is just cross pollinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
a
what's
good
cool.
word.
Cause
Cross-pollinated.
yeah, because the whole document it's about the Velvet Underground, but then there's turns where it's just about like fucking Andy Warhol, and that's where I found out more about Andy Warhol. Like this other side was through this documentary. Like it's just interesting. Yeah.
Do you like documentaries? Do you watch a lot of them?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I watch a lot, but I definitely dig them. I watch, yeah, I definitely dig them.
Specifically, like art history.
Yeah, definitely related to
Yeah.
like the arts, man.
You know
Music,
who? Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, yeah, but then.
You know who I never liked was Basquiat. I like him, but I
yeah.
don't like the art. I never
Yeah.
understood it.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
he's supposed to be one of the greats.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, shit. Sometimes that's another thing. Back to that, man. It's just when someone doesn't doesn't. I hate that fucking where. Oh, well, you have to know to understand. Fucking, what does that do, man? It just, like, I can't, my experience,
Yeah.
And that's the fucking elitism, man. With
Well.
that, with certain things, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Certain
know.
aspects, yeah. So
Actually, I thought to myself, if I worry about whether or not I'm gonna get a degree from college because my life is just in shambles right now, and it could be really nice in the future, but
yeah.
I don't really know. So, but one of the things I considered is getting an arts degree, just because, I started off getting when I was like back in 2012, I graduated, and I went to a school in Alabama called Tuskegee. It's a private school, all black school, and I studied math for a year, and then I switched to electrical engineering, and then I was going to get a minor in math. Then I ended up quitting school, and I got arrested shortly thereafter. Got out, went to community college in California, and then I got into Davis for electrical engineering again.
Yeah.
So I was going to do that. But then I thought, like, if I were to go back, I would be so fucking rusty in electrical engineering, and I'd be relearning so much that I might, I'm afraid that I might get burnt out.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, what could I do that I'm pretty sure I wouldn't get burnt out in, that I would actually enjoy?
Yeah.
So I was like, wouldn't it be interesting if I got some kind of an arts degree?
Yeah. I would say,
I still like
Depends.
engineering, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is like, if I went back to community college, I'm pretty sure I could get the rust off of me,
Yeah,
and I could get right back into it. But I don't know what the future holds. So I just, as like a thought experiment, I thought about it. It's like, that would be interesting. I don't know if I would actually have the balls to do it,
yeah.
but I thought about it more and more recently.
I would say, unless you want to teach,
Yeah.
like art, it's useless, man. Don't get the paper, man. Like an arts degree is
Maybe I'll
useless,
just
man.
keep doing hip hop.
Yeah,
just do
yeah.
that instead of work a regular job.
Because really, I'm only going to this school. I mean, there are the other benefits of it are you get to have the opportunity for everyone. I only use this because it's the only word I can find, to be forced to be in the same room and critique each other's work.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of it. The conversations that can come out of it, and the space where everyone has to be there. Outside of school, like, you have to really have a close knit community that fucking, okay, we're gonna get together and look at each other's work, and out there it's forced. You have different people, you have these conversations that are going. That's I think what I would say is the big benefit of it, and the space when they offer you studios to work in.
Do you
Other
have
than
a
that, the
studio
paper
now?
stuff. Yeah.
Okay,
Which
cool.
is cool, which is a cool opportunity with that. But the degree, unless you want to teach,
Yeah,
is
you have
worthless,
to
man.
do it to teach art, I guess.
Yeah, because you can create those communities. I mean, like Europe is an example. Even though it was created in a college, but it wasn't created. It was just you can find those communities.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a
outside
good point.
but like it doesn't. You know, I would say, you know, if that's your interest for those situations, but for the paper, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I could
the
just
paper.
get involved in art spaces probably.
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
would
You'd be
enough.
because you're already an artist, man. And the I think the electrical engineering would be even.
Yeah. By the way,
influence, yeah, be
when
better.
I was doing electrical engineering, I loved it.
Yeah, see,
But
yeah.
that's the problem, is that it's like, it's one of those things where, like, in a lot of the technical stuff, like engineering, science, math, you use, like, it's really important that you get the prerequisite because you use that information. You use that information in the next class. So one of the things I worry about, which I know the solution to now, but I worried about in the past, is like, what if I have to go all the way back to the beginning and then rebuild from there?
Yeah.
But I think I could do that if I just went to a junior college. If I did that at like Davis, that'd be hell on earth.
Yeah.
Because you're paying like out the ass money, and you're not even caught up with everyone else in your class. That'd be terrible. But if I went back, I'm just wondering how far back would I have to go in order to be fresh and ready for like a competitive engineering school. But I could do it. I'm having doubts now because I'm getting ready to go to prison.
Yeah, right. Fuck, and then access to that information in there. How is that? Have you been able to?
I have no idea.
No,
There's
yeah.
actually a group in San Jose that does some kind of advocacy work that I'm going to visit tomorrow.
Nice.
And I'm going to see what resources they have.
Yeah.
But I know the address. I haven't been there before, but they have like meditation on Tuesdays, so I think that's like an in for me.
There you go.
And then I could bring up conversations. Hey, I'm getting ready to go in.
Yeah.
Any way that I can contact you guys, or can I have like phone numbers, or send me some mail?
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what I can do there this week. But
Yeah, man, it's an interesting. I mean, that's. I mean, this is, but like thinking about back to that fence, the other thing, man, those barriers, the symbol, like having access, like thinking about how much access you have to, like the textbooks in there, you know, and all that.
Yeah.
To even then, like
some places have like college classes.
Yeah, right.
But it depends on where you are.
Yeah, right.
I don't think that's every place.
And the type of degrees you can get in there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's interesting, man. Thinking is that I know, like, my brother, you know, like, thinking of access to, I don't know how it is. Something I wanted to look into with like access to government, you know, like to welfare and things like that.
Yeah.
Once you have, you know, like, or like with him, like a felony in his background and shit, and just like some things are cut off. You're cut off from certain accesses to fucking basically things that are just the necessities, you know, that it's fucked up, you know. Then you're left to fucking, you know, go to like different routes because you can't get a job or only certain types of jobs, and you can't access fucking, like, let's say food stamps, fucking other, you know, resources.
You can't access food stamps?
I'm not sure. That's one thing.
That's pretty fucked up if you can't access food stamps. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I hope
I'm not
that's
sure,
not
actually.
the case.
And that's the one thing I don't know if that's the case in California. I would think you could here. And I haven't looked it up, but I know in other states, there are states that
where you can't.
Yeah, do that. But I mean, it's something that just recently hit me, like, has been a thing that's been just like in there.
Yeah.
When I look at these fences, man. But that too, like the education, man. Like, I was gonna say, like, were you getting like financial aid when you were out there?
I was when I was at Davis. Yeah, I got a Cal grant, and I got something else. I don't remember exactly what it was. I didn't have a scholarship, but I know I got a Cal grant and some other version of that.
Did it pay for like all of it or most of it? Or?
No, most of it.
Yeah. See, with me, it paid for all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it paid for it all.
I didn't get. There was this. I forgot what it was called. There was like a special type of financial aid that I don't know if I was eligible for or whatever, but I forgot the name. Forget it. But
are you first generation?
No.
No, maybe that's the one I got.
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
cool, man.
Yeah, but I wonder, like, will you be, does that bar you from getting
From certain, well, that's what I'm
financial aid?
thinking is
Yeah.
like,
After.
even a loan, will I be blocked from getting a student loan
Yeah.
because of a felony past?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but
Yeah, and that's
it does deal with banks and, you know.
what is that like a thing? Like banks like look at you different?
I think so. I don't know
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, thinking of those barriers, man.
How did you get started on the whole circle thing? I know you had a painting with the circle in your studio in Davis, and the
Yeah.
Fences project is filmed in a circle.
Yeah, it just started from like it's funny because I was wondering where the art building is at because the teacher who put me on that trajectory, she's teaching like adjunctly here in San Jose. Sometimes.
Yeah, I have no idea where the art
Yeah,
building
but
is.
anyways, but I took a class with her and she introduced me to these other practices and different ways of looking at art that dealt with more with just concept and what you say, well, yeah, conceptual ways of working with it and thinking about not putting the way it looks at the forefront of creating work. Before that, I was all about making things that are beautiful,
Yeah.
things that are like cool, things that are dope, like that, and just think that those are the driving forces. I didn't think about, deeply about content and about how about if you strip all that away, what happens. But anyways, she introduced me to this practice, our class to this practice, this Japanese, like they're called it's a Zen Buddhist, it's been a long Zen Buddhist Japanese practice. These Enzo circles, and basically it's just one mark you do in one circle in one breath, and sometimes they close and sometimes they don't. But once you're done with that swipe, it's done, and that's the piece. And it's all about, it's as much about this as it is about this, and about like the idea of what it means. And like sometimes they're closed, sometimes they're open, and these things symbolize like the void or even the moment, different concepts that are like, I look at it as like these voids, these empty spaces that are just waiting to happen. Like right now as we go through time, we don't know, we're just going through it and it's just being improvised really.
Yeah.
Every little moment, every little movement. But thinking of that, but the thing is a circle. The circle symbolizes the void, all that. Then there's this other, then I started thinking about that, other practices in this Hindu, like, practice from a certain space, Rajasthan, where they do something similar, but it's just geometric forms, symbolizing, like, some divinity, and they're meant for, like, private prayer and private meditation. And they're drawn on these found scraps of paper. And and just thinking about geometry. The circle symbolized that for me.
I personally think of circles as the simplest shape because,
that's cool.
if you have squares, you only need one dimension, which is the side. But then you need right angles too.
Yeah.
So a circle, you just need the radius, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you know everything about the circle.
And thinking of that as the shape. That's when it's a constant loop. It's just a loop that
like your beats.
Theoretically never stops. Yeah, exactly. And then relating
no,
back
that's
to
a
that
joke.
loop.
Your beats are more than loops.
No, but I mean and that actually connects very well because what I love about about loops and just beats, even in a beat that's chopped up, it's still a loop, and it's just meant to create this space where the rapper can go on, and and even that when the yerp and those moments, it's just this loop that's ongoing. And it's just meant to just create this drone, I guess you could say, space where you can just zone out in and then fill in, and then in different ways. But the loop is perfect because then I was connecting that with my music. But the loop, like a square has stops, and then a triangle has stops too.
That sure stops.
The circle is just, I think it equates to time, I guess I'm not a scientist or whatever, but it seems like a fucking ongoing thing that just doesn't stop,
I used to want a circle tattoo. Well, I have a circle here, but and I have one here, but I wanted one on my back. but I have since then decided not to get it.
Yeah. Why is that?
Well, I wanted a red circle for the red chef.
Yeah, going
And
back to that.
I'm thinking maybe not red tattooed on my skin. That probably isn't a good idea. But I like the red chef.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you use circles, with your chefs.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
So there's like a mathematical background to it, which is that if you think of progressing toward a goal as like different parts on a plot, like a Cartesian plane, then you could say the goal is at 1, 1, or one part of the square basically, and where you are is a 0, 0. Okay. And you have to use some kind of a path to get from where you are to wherever you want to go. Mm-hmm. And the circle is saying how close are you to the point. You can make a circle around that point that you're trying to get to, and if you're at any point in the circle, you're the same distance away from that point. So like, let's say there's a 1 foot circle around me. Mm-hmm. If somebody's here on that 1 foot circle or here, they're still on the circle, they're the same distance away from me. The circle is all the points that are the same distance away. So no matter what path you choose, you can always measure where you are by a circle. Let's say, well, how close am I here from this angle or this angle? It's the same thing.
Yeah, man.
So
That's
the circle
dope.
is the chef, Circle is the person who keeps moving forward. You know, they're always some distance away, but they're getting to a closer and closer and closer circle. Until they reach the point, then they are that point. There's no circle anymore, I guess.
Yeah, man.
I actually wrote a paper that was like, you're at the beginning and end of your quest, you're a sheep, actually. Because at the beginning, you haven't made any progress, and then you're at the end, there's no space for progress.
Yeah, man.
So it's really sheep, chef, sheep, if you look at it from a progression standpoint.
That's fucking dope. And that's what's like that, back to the circle, man. Like that changes my way of, adds to a different dimension of me looking at this thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's where that type of space opens up, where the death of the author, man, it's just
although
open.
I think I would not like to die as an author.
Yeah,
I think it's because I haven't gone through the experiences you've gone through, learning under these people, adjunct professors and whatnot. But from the outside, I would like for there to be I would like for a message to get through, but I'm okay with it not getting through, and I'm okay with somebody misinterpreting it.
Yeah.
But I would like for some of the message to get through that's directly from me.
Yeah.
I just don't bet on it. I assume that, okay, once this is done, especially with the music stuff, once this is done, it's pretty much up to everyone else to decide whatever it means. But before it's done, it does mean something specific to me. So I take both sides of it. That's why I felt like in the Europe, I was like, if you need to cut a verse, you can cut my verse. Because there is, on one hand, there's what I see in it and what I value in it, but on another hand, does it actually fit the project? Like, I felt like on my own 2 fucking feet, my verse actually didn't fit the project that well.
Like to on my own 2 feet.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's funny about that is I couldn't rap on that beat either. You could hear my throat catch, where I'm like, I love to be on my own 2 feet. You try not to show, but I know you see. And I'm like, that's not the way I was. But I know you see. If you don't fuck with me, you don't fuck with me. I'm stuck in the kitchen. That's enough to me.
On top shelf chimney. The little auto tune. Remember the one G snap?
Yeah. That was G snap?
Was it G snap?
I don't think so. I think that was the real deal.
The one you were using, I think.
That's G snap.
I think it was G snap. Yeah. The other one's Auburn, right?
The Audacity auto tune.
But back to that, I mean, just to keep fucking, I know we keep, but the death of the author, the one thing that, knowing that is that fucking, that your message isn't going to be delivered all ever.
It's
so
never gonna be.
But then the job as the author, whatever, is, the best you can do is leave crumbs to help them follow where you're going. Yeah.
I think in terms of bars, as far as that goes. Like,
Yeah.
even if I say something significant that doesn't go well, I know I could always save it with a bar.
Yeah.
I could save it by something memorable, and then that'll catch them for, like, that's the first layer. Like, there's when somebody first hears something, they're like, is this exciting or not? So I can use certain bars to make it exciting. But then maybe the next layer, after they've heard it a bunch of times, then maybe they're curious about what's under the surface. Like, I went to a Tyler the Creator concert, and he finished his concert with this song "Run It Up," and I love the chorus of the song. And but I never listened to the lyrics. I just love the chorus so much that I'm like, this is my favorite song. If I bet if I listened to it, I probably would like it less. But what I am getting out of it is enough for me, which is just the chorus, and then like the general sound of someone rapping sounds good. And the chorus is really good, so who gives a fuck about the rest of it? But that's me projecting too onto what the song is, because is that really the intent of the author?
Yeah.
No, that's maybe, but probably not, because he probably took time writing out those verses that I'm not even appreciating. Oh.
Yeah, man.
I wanted to play another song. This is one of your old ones, another beat.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is one of your old ones that I actually started liking.
That one. See, that's another one I've been waiting for someone to use.
Yeah,
That one's called fucking
Bellissimo.
Feliz? Oh.
El Bellissimo. E Bellissimo. Well,
Yeah,
this is how it downloaded.
E Bellissimo, yeah.
Oh, E Bellissimo.
That's dope, man. See, I forget. I was about to call that Beautiful Flower Bloom, but that's another one. That one's dope, man. Who did I sample on that?
I think I'm going to try to do the chorus one. Let me try to rap something on it. I love to be on my own 2 feet. You trying not to show, but I know you see. If you don't fuck with me, don't fuck with me. I'm stuck in the kitchen and that's enough to me. I wouldn't eat those groceries if they were free. I'd rather pull up and make a toast to me. I leave quick. I'm not leaving a leaflet. I'm Gucci with your sushi. Perhaps I'm seasick.
That's ill, dude. Hell yeah. Then then there's a change in the middle of that.
Oh
beat.
yeah, there is. I should have let it play for longer.
Yeah, man. Yeah, see, like those are like old beats that I'm like, dude, I'm still waiting for someone to use. And like, yeah, dude. They're just waiting for the time to shine, man.
Yeah, man, I like a lot of those old beats, because I went through your folder with the new beats, and I was like, I picked out a lot of them, and some of them stood the test of times, other ones didn't.
Yeah.
Oh shit, hold on.
And that's where
Sometimes this happens.
Yeah,
All right, we gotta end the podcast. My nose is fucking leaking.
Oh shit, man.
Oh, I have water.
Is it from the fasting?
Maybe.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I only got this little. You need water? You said you have
I
water.
have water.
For sure. You want me to get it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah,
I'm
dude.
just gonna lay back.
Why are you laughing? Yeah, that shit's happened to me. But yeah, man, fucking natural Ramadan, dude.
Starving artist Ramadan.
There you go. Where's your water, though? I don't see it here.
It's somewhere. It might be under this
The jacket? Alright, for sure. Where the...
No, I might have left it in the
I think you
library.
left it, man. You want this little last swig?
Nah,
No?
I'm good.
It's just funny. Sometimes this happens.
Sometimes this happens.
It's like my computer when it fucking starts glitching.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, no. I didn't even see. It's funny. I was looking for a water bottle. Let me take this off. I wonder, can I use the restroom in here?
Yeah,
Yeah?
you can go to the library.
Library? For sure,
For
man.
sure.
Yeah.
I'll
Try
watch
one of
the
these.
stuff.
Yeah.
You're gonna try one of these?
Yeah.
Okay.
This little one, man. There's another beat I'm gonna show you that fucking, it's the one Yoke is getting on, bro. Yeah. Fucking mask. Shit, yeah, yo.
All right.